FINA NVC Diving World Series. We are in Beijing for the first of 6 competitions going on over the next 3 months or so, which will take us all around the globe from Beijing all the way through to the finale in Monterrey, Mexico. Next stop is Dubai, but firstly we have the final of the finals. There are 8 events in each competition. And this is the men's 10-meter platform. It includes Tom Daley, Victor Minebiev, Alexander Bondor, David Budia, Chibo and Cao Yan. They're the 6 who've made the final. There are 7 judges who are going to be monitoring all 6 of the dives performed by the men. And a Great Britain flag for Tom Daley, a young heartthrob of British swimming. He's become a poster boy since he picked up a bronze in the London Olympics. He's actually got his own television series back home in the United Kingdom. But now, this is what he does best. He's a 10-meter diver. The rest of the guys, Minebiev, Bonda, Budia, Chibo and Cao Yan, just getting ready. In terms of this tournament, Chinese divers have won 25 of the 27 occasions this event has been in the World Series. We're in the 8th season, and that man is the only man who's broken that Chinese domination. He's won 2 events, Tom Daley. Very good diver in his own right, and still only 19 years of age. That's from Plymouth in the southwest of England. And he's starting off with an arm stand and a backward triple somersault. Degree of difficulty a 3.5 to get us underway. Qualified 6th of the qualifiers, but only after a pretty disastrous last round in qualification. So this is Tom Daley, Great Britain. It's the first dive of the men's 10-meter platform final. Good strong start. Coaching staff certainly happy. And Tom will be very happy as well. It's a strong stance quickly into the tuck and plenty of time to spot the entry into the water. And the all-important toes together, feet together throughout the duration of the dive, and the reward is a 94.5 start. Excellent way to start from Tom Daley. 3.5 degree level of difficulty. This is Victor Minebiev. A 22-year-old. His first dive, an inward 3.5 somersault in the tuck position, a 3.2 degree of difficulty. Execution is very neat and tidy, very solid. Nice tight tuck. And an 80 score for Minebiev. Ukrainian Alexander Bondor. Same dive. Inward 3.5 somersault in the tuck position. Good good chance to compare like for like. Beautiful, clean entry. Won a silver at the Youth Olympic Games in this competition in Singapore in 2010. And is carrying on that quality onto the international stage. The judges are rating this one slightly better than Minebiev's effort. An 81.6. One judge having a 9 in there. That's discarded. 8.5s abounding for the rest. They're the three that count. Two highest and the two lowest scores in the 7 judges are taken away. Now Budia won gold at the London Olympics in this discipline. 3.5 degree of difficulty for this arm stand. A back double somersault. The timing of the push from the arm, absolutely essential. And Budia. It's a nice execution. Slightly skew-if as he makes his entry. 3.6 degree of difficulty. 84.6 unofficially his score. Confirmation coming there. 2 8s and a 7.5. The scores that count. 8 was the highest he received. 7.5 from 3 of the judges. Now then, on to the Chinese. Jibo. Inward 3.5 somersault as depicted by the graphic. Top left. 3.5 degree of difficulty. Is capable of exceptional, exquisite diving. Case in point is there. In the 2011 FINA diving series, Chibo received 25 perfect 10s. He hasn't got a perfect 10 here to get us underway. Lovely tight pike, straight leg. Excellent cameras provided by CCTV. Hope you're enjoying these pictures wherever you're watching around the globe. An 84 start for Chibo. That's enough only for 3rd place at the moment. And the favourite, Cao Yan, next up. This is the same dive that Minibiev and Bondar performed. The inward 3.5 somersault in the tuck position. Little bow of applause. Could be a judge in this sport, huh? Now you've got to pick out the faults in something as artistic as this. Cao Yan, 84.8, which means that Tom Daley from Great Britain leads at the end of the first round. And leads by nearly 10 points. It was an outstanding start from Tom Daley. Wonderful execution. Confirmation, Daley 9.7 clear of Cao Yan. Budia, the American, in 3rd. Good competition, and Daley is up next. Qualified sixth, currently first. 6 rounds, 6 dives for the men. Daly prepares. This will be an arm stand with a back triple somersault. No, sorry, apologies. That was his first round. It's 2.5 somersault, 2.5 twists. A bit of confusion about what the dive was. Now it's sorted. Tom Daly, teenager from Plymouth in UK, in England. That's a big splash. That's never a good sign. He had one poor dive in the qualification series earlier on this morning. That will be marked down for Tom Daly. The form's good, simply runs out of room to play with. We're still waiting for the scores. Tell you what, there was a delay beforehand, there's a delay now. Must have affected concentration just a little bit for Tom Daly, and quite rightly, he's making his way over to the judges to see what's going on here, because this is very unusual to have such a delay. Now then, the referee is getting involved. Tom Daly will be, I think, getting the chance to dive again. Yeah, there's a problem with the scoring element. It's very rare. I mean, the dive that was posted up originally on the scoreboard was different to the information that we'd been given beforehand, which has got to be registered with the referees. And Tom might be about to get a reprieve. Nothing official as yet. Checking the equipment. Is it all operational? The answer, I'm afraid, is no. The gremlins have arrived at the water cube as Daly just takes it in his stride. Tom Daly, he's a phlegmatic character. Okay, now then, the scores have been re-entered. And he's not going to get a reprieve. Instead, the score is going to just be 59.4, and that entrance into the water has hurt him. So it was a computer glitch more than anything else, as Minibiev prepares for his dive. After the delay that he's just had to cope with, that's a terrific dive. The forward 4.5 somersaults in tuck. A 3.7 degree of difficulty for Minibiev. And he's picked up a 90.65 to add to his first round of 80. That's a good response. Victor Minibiev. So the Ukrainian Alexander Bondar. Forward 4.5 somersault. Matching exactly what Minibiev's gone for. Used a fair amount of the diving pool there. Plenty of forward momentum, which has probably marked him down just a little bit. .79.6 for Bonda. An overall total of 161.15. Budia. Inward 3.5 somersaults in the tuck position. Very satisfying, clean entry into the water. Looked very poised and confident on the board. Good spring, quickly into the tuck. Looked to have good time. Very nicely executed dive. 83.2, the unofficial score. 83.2, the official score, for a total of 167.8. We'll move up the leaderboard a little bit. Chibo. In this second round, he's going for the arm stand. Back triple somersault. Hasn't quite hit the heights to which we know he's capable. Difficult to pick too much fault out of that. But the judges, their job is to do exactly that. And they have done. They picked him an 84 on that score. 3/8 to count. The degree of difficulty on that particular dive for Chibo was a 3.5. Kaoyan just adds a little bit. This is the arm stand with a backward double somersault. Is as good as it can get. He's picked up certainly a 10 there. Kaoyan, a 10 from one of the judges, which won't be officially counted, but it tells you just how impressive that score was. Well, that dive was almost perfect. perfect entry. And it's 102 on the scoring judges. 102.6. 3 4 9.5s, 2 9s and a 10 for a total of 187.4. And he's gone into the lead at the end of 2 rounds. And Tom Daley goes from first to last after a disastrous second round dive. Kaoyam, Minibiev, Chibo, Budia, Bondar, Daley. Kaoyam, the first 10 we've seen in this Diving World Series Beijing. And they really are as rare as you'd suggest. Support there for Viktor Minibiev, the Russian, and for Tom Daley. So on to the third round of a competition that's already produced its fair share of upsets and drama, mainly surrounding Tom Daley. A magnificent first round. Some computer glitches and a poor entry into the water, hurting his second round. Coaches looking on. This one of his easier dives, an inward 3.5 somersaults with tuck. It's a good response from Tom Daley. He has become something of a celebrity in the UK since the Olympic triumph. But he's focusing very much on his diving here, and that's a very nice response to the problems he had in the second round. It's a rock-solid dive. It's a 3.2 difficulty rating, which means the execution has to be good, and 3 9s count in that score. 86.4. At least he's back in the ballpark. Minibiev. It's a reverse 3.5 somersault. Degree of difficulty 3.4. Chance just to increase his position in second place. Terrific power into the first leap. He was a mile off the air, a mile off the board. Excellent leap. That gave him a little bit of momentum. It's an 83.3. Alexander Bondar, a 3.6 degree of difficulty. His turn to use the arm stand. Nice clean entry from Bondar. It's a cracking little battle between Minibiev and Bondar, the Russian and the Ukrainian. He's picked up a rock-solid 84.6. He's Had a solid sequence of dives, Bondo, an 81.6, a 79.55, and now an 84.6. Total of 245. The 24-year-old Texan, David Boudia. There's a big splash, which never goes down well with the judges, suggests the toes aren't together. Forward 4.5 somersaults. Doesn't quite spot it. Margin for error. You can probably get away with one non-stellar dive, but any more than that and you're in trouble. And I think that's David Boudia's non-stellar dive. Let's see if the coach has anything to say. Well, nothing audible. Now on to Chibo. Currently in 3rd place. This the reverse 3.5 somersaults. All-round applause for Chibo. Justifiably. And a surge of excitement through the crowd because it's a 96.9 score. The cleanness of the entry into the water. It still astonishes me how much time the guys seem to have coming out of the 4.5 somersaults and into the dive. 96.9 unofficially, now official. It'll move him into 2nd place. 1st place at the moment, but still one dive to come for the leader at the end of the 2nd round. Cao Yan. Still only a teenager, Cao Yan. 19 years of age, Beijing born. Well, he was almost waiting to hit the water then. A 3.5 somersaults with tuck. Degree of difficulty is 3.4. Well, he's holding on to the lead. It's an 86.7, the score. So at the midway point, rank 1 is Cao Yan from Beijing. Rank 2 is Chibo. Who's from Zhejiang in Sichuan province. Minibiev drops down to 3rd. Daly comes up a place ahead of David Boudia, the Texan, who drops to the bottom of the standings. But it's fairly tight between 3rd to 6th. All 4 of those divers are capable of coming on the podium. We suspect, though, that the 2 Chinese on their home turf, or on home water, are nailed on for 1-2. We're at the midway point of this competition. Tom Daly. We've seen some brilliance from Daly. We've seen one comparatively poor dive. This, the 4th round. Degree of difficulty 3.7. It's a 4.5 somersault forward tuck. a reaction that says a lot, although your coach is bound to be just a little bit biased. I think Tom Daly has fully recovered from that second round disaster. Nice tight tuck, nice and quick in the roll, spots the entry into the water, and he picks up a 90.65 unofficially. It's a 90.7. Minebiev currently in third place. It's the arm stand. All the divers must perform this. He's putting a back double somersault off the 10-meter platform. Didn't seem to get the push off the platform that the others who perform that particular dive have done. 73.8. And was therefore always hurrying and trying to catch up on the routine. Minebiev, it's the first disappointment that he's really had. A 3.6 difficulty degree for Bondar. A backward somersault, 3.5 somersaults. Quickly into the pike, very aggressive to get the heels up above the head, and that sets the momentum. Judges don't like it though. It's those toes. If those toes are apart once you enter the water, then you're in trouble, according to the judges. Those toes aren't quite there. And the result is a 59.4. Which in the context of this competition was a pretty disastrous score. Here's David Boudia, the Texas Purdue University he's at now. That's where he does all his practice. Reverse 3.5 somersaults in the tuck position. A degree of difficulty of 3.4. It looked to be nicely executed. And the cleanest of entries. Well, he's had a strange old tournament. The Olympic champion, Boudia, a 62 in the last round. This one is significantly better. And the judges have called it a 93.5. A 9.5 and 2 nines. Once you're hitting 9.5 range, you're in genuine world class. So Boudia, he's had an up and down tournament. Now then, Chibo. Coach's reaction's always interesting, and there was a little turn of the nose on that, which looks a little bit harsh. It looks pretty solid from where I'm standing. Maybe just falling away on the entry 86.4, 3.8 counting on the score, 351.3 overall. It will maintain at least second place. Here's the local hero, Beijing's Cao Yan. 3.6 degree of difficulty. Same dive as we've just seen from Jibo. And this fella can only improve. He posted 100 score in the second round. So much time, so much effortless grace. It's not quite 100, it's a 93.6 score. 9 and 2, 8.5s. A total of 367 overall, and that's quite a hefty lead of 16.4 points from Chibo. Tom Daly now back on the rankings. He's up into third ahead of Minibiev. Boudia comes from 6th to 5th, and Bondar drops to the bottom of the pile. It's anybody's for the podium position. Daly having recovered from that second round nightmare. He'll get us up and running in the 5th penultimate round of dives. There'll been plenty of movement around the lower placings in this competition, but ever since the second round, Cao Yan has been the dominant personality, the Chinese. So Daly prepares a degree of difficulty of 3.6 for a backward 3.5 somersault in the pike position. If it wasn't for that poor second round, he would be in contention for second place. At the moment, he just needs a solid dive. He needs to maintain third place. Backwards 3.5 somersault. That's another very nice dive from Plymouth's Tom Daly. A very, very nice dive. It's a 97.2. It is, after the 100 score, the second best dive of this competition. A little leap for joy. Now, Britain has got a genuine world-class diver in Tom Daly. Minibiev, the 22-year-old Russian. Backward 3.5 somersaults in the pike position. Well, we just saw a wonderful dive from Tom Daly. Is Minibiev able to match the 97? The answer is no. He wasn't as quick into the pike. The legs are straight, but he's not close. And again, I need to keep emphasizing it. It's at this quality of diving, the finest margins make all the difference. It's an 81 for 408.75. Bondar currently bottom of the pile. Two and a half somersaults, 2.5 twists. Nicely executed. That's a lot of content to fit into a 10-meter drop. 3.4 degree of difficulty. And other than a poor fourth round, Bondar has been very, very consistent. Scores of 81.6, 79.55, 84.6, 59.4, which is the black mark on his scorecard. You can add an 86.4. Boudia, been a member of the US diving team since 2005, into now his 8th year, 9th season. Backwards 3.5 somersaults. Again, the entry might be what causes him problems from the judges. .5s and 7s generally for a total for that particular dive of 75.6. As we talked about the consistency of Bondar, Boudia has been inconsistent. He's had the highs of the 90s and the lows of the 60s. Was in 5th place, will remain in 5th place, assuming Jibo and Cao Yan don't have a no dive. Jibo forward 4.5 somersaults. Again, barely a ripple as he hits the water. It's the most satisfying of sounds when you hit the water sweetly. That's near perfect. The degree of difficulty is a 3.8, and his score represents a wonderful execution and gives him a real chance of hauling in the leader, Cao Yan. The degree of difficulty added to top quality execution. There's a couple of 9.5s in there. 2 9s and the 8.5 are the scores that count. 108.7. Total of 459. And it's racked up the pressure on Cao Yan. The teenager is a 4.5 somersaults with tuck. How to respond? You're asking me if I can respond to pressure. Here you go. He's not only seen him, he's added to the value. It's a wonderful dive from Cao Yan. Let's get the official score. The ice bucket, 109.2. My word. Chubo had put real pressure on with a top quality dive, and Cao Yan has just answered it. Tom Daly is doing really well to keep in the podium places in this kind of company. Minibia, Budia and Bonda